Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. We are going to be doing barre this morning. It's Thursday, trying to keep track of the calendar. And we'll start on our feet. So we'll end on the mat today rather than beginning there. You're going to want your normal bunch of stuff. So maybe weights for the hands, something for inner thigh work, a yoga block works as well. And in fact, if you have a yoga block or a step or a stack of books that you can stand on, you're going to want to get that because we will do some standing work on that little platform. Yeah. Let's see, grab my other weight here. My other yoga block. And we'll get to it. All right. So again, I'm in bare feet this morning just so you can see what my toes are doing. We're going to continue to work on our feet, but you are welcome to be in socks. Let me change my camera a little bit. There we are. We start, once you've gotten your things, just by walking through the feet. So rise up and walk. Take it easy, take it through the range that is best for you to start with. So don't go right away to extremes. There's Carol. Good morning. We just started. We're walking through our feet. Good. Keep that going just a couple more times across the sides. And you can add any deeper version of the walking that you like. Let's say across each side once more. And then lower your heels to the ground. Okay. Bend into the knees. Well, we'll bring the inside edges of the feet and the knees together and bend a little bit into the knees, sort of bend forward from the hips as well. And we make little circles through the knees. We got our little circles going. Putting movement into the ankles. A couple more times in this direction. And go the other way. Circling in the new direction, maybe 2 or 3 more times. And then crouch deeply into the legs, round the spine like a cat, rounding forward. And then stretch the spine out and maybe go to extension. Inhale when you do that. We do again. Exhale, the knees and the feet are together still, rounding like a cat. Have a breath. Exhale, mat style, we return through neutral. And as you inhale, you can actually extend the spine or maybe just retract the shoulder blades a little, your choice. Do that one more time, please. Exhale, round the spine forward. And inhale, lengthen to neutral. Maybe extend. Good. Roll up. And put your hand on a table or a countertop and stand on your left leg. We're going to reach our right foot forward. Feel the hip joint bracketing the pubic bone. And then exhale, rotate outward away from it. Inhale, release. And exhale, outward. We're going to do this 6 or 7 times, finding lateral motion in the hip. Let's say twice more. And then pause, put the foot on the ground, bend the knees and stretch. And right away we do the other side. Kick the heel forward. You could change hands if you wanted to. Let's say 6 times from the hip joint to the left side of the pubic bones. Turn outward, gliding laterally through the hip. And then put the foot down. Go ahead and have a little bit wider space between the legs. We're going to take the hips in a big circle. So putting, like we did with the knees, lateral or circular motion into the knees. We'll put circular motion into the hips. Take your hips out to the right, push them back. It's kind of like you're doing the slowest hula hoop ever. Push them to the left and then forward. So we make this big circle with the hips. And through that big circle, we're getting this rotation of the pelvis over our thigh bones. Do a couple more. Now don't press forward so that your low back hurts, and you don't want to take it so far to the side that it feels crummy for the hips. Do one more in this direction. And then go the other way. All right, so like the knees, we want to go both ways through the circling. You can put your hands on your hips if you like and sort of guide them around. Do 3 more in this direction, rotating over our foundation into the ground. 1 more. And then pause and bring your feet underneath you, not quite together. We're going to bend a little bit into the knees again and bring the fingertips to the shoulder tops. I'll give you the side view. We'll inhale and begin with an inhale this time and sweep the elbows up, beginning to circle the arms and the shoulders, lifting the chest. And then exhale, sweep the elbows down and curve forward through the upper back. Do that 4 times total. Inhale, sweeping the elbows up, and exhale, forward. So the elbows are more or less parallel to each other as you go through this gentle rotation in the shoulders. 1 more. Exhale. Release the arms and roll up. Bring the arms up from the side and again touch your shoulder tops. Now here you can stay on straight legs or you can have a little bend again. We're just going to rotate forward and back through the shoulders. Same idea though. So as you exhale and bring the shoulders forward, allow a little bit of rounding through the spine, the upper back. As you inhale and open the elbows apart, stretch upward through the top of the chest. 4 total. That's it, you guys. Trying to get entirely warmed up through the whole chain before we start specific work. We get that last one done. Inhale. Return to neutral spine. Drop the arms. And then drop the chin. Take the right ear toward the right shoulder. Breathe in, and then release down through center. Left ear toward left shoulder. Breathe in and down to center. Another time just like that. And then take 1 circle all the way around. Reversing it. All right. So find your ball or block and put it between the inner thighs. So you might not necessarily have various sizes of balls. We had the little red one in class and the large green one. Whatever size you have, put it at a place in the inner thighs that provides appropriate spacing for your hips so you don't feel a lot of lateral pressure on the knees or the ankles. Balance the bottoms of the feet with the ground. Inhale and begin to bend the knees. Glide them directly forward. We already identified the hips. You bend the knees, flex the hips in parallel, and then Kegel, exhale, and straighten the legs. Continue this. Inhale, bending the knees. Feel them tracking forward. Feel a steady position in the feet. Kegel, exhale as you straighten the legs. You'll feel that little pressure inward that helps to define your parallel position. Continue this. Breathe in. Kegel, exhale, breathe out. Begin more active awareness of breath support for your spine. 3 more. It's very common for the arches to drop down on the inner surface or to roll inward toward the baby toes. So watch for that. Also common is a little bit of lateral rolling. So we just want to keep the bottoms of the feet parallel to the surface of the floor. The bottom of your last bend, stay there, and we squeeze the ball a couple of times. Well, 4 times actually. Release your low back and hold your neutral posture. And as you exhale, squeeze inward, activating inner thighs without gripping outer hips. Inhale, soften a little bit, keep the feet level. Kegel, exhale, squeeze. And inhale, soften. Twice more. Also peace. 1 more time. Squeeze inward and stay. So we've got a pretty firm connection through the inner thighs as well as the appropriate spacing for our hips. Our feet are level and we pulse downward on the exhale 8 times. Up a little bit. Pulse downward. As you continue the pulsing, make this mostly a breath exercise. So you know your exhale is really closely associated with the core support. We get our transversus, we get pelvic floor. We do 3 more pulses downward, identifying the deep muscles in our center without gripping the outer hips, the lower back, or the neck. Pause at the bottom of your last one, inhale. And now exhale, straighten your legs, squeezing the ball, applying your Kegel, supporting your spine. On your inhale breath, lift your heels. On your exhale breath, lower them down. We do 6 of these. Inhale up and exhale down. Core connection helps to keep the spine upright as we do that slight shift forward and up, downward and back. 3 more. Use your lower abs as well, so the front of the pelvis remains perpendicular to the ground rather than at a slant. 1 more. Stay at the top, and we do our little pulses here. Inhale, bend the knees, and exhale, straighten the legs. Just 4 times. Inhale, bend the knees. As you straighten the legs, you're applying your core, your abs, your inner thighs, and your glutes. Medial quads are working to support the alignment of the knees. We do 1 more. This 1 more is a preface to our quicker releve. On 1 breath, inhale, down and up. Exhale, down and up. Inhale, down and up. Exhale. 4 more. Inhale. Exhale. That's it. Inhale. Exhale. Now inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, lift your heels. Inhale, stretch your legs, all the connections, even on your inhale breath. And then exhale, reach your heels down gently, lifting not only through pelvic floor, but also through lower abs and underneath the glutes. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, roll through your feet, maintain the alignment. Inhale, stretch your legs, holding your Kegel. And exhale, lower down. 4 more, please, moving through that whole 4-breath cycle. Take the inhale breath down into the bottom of the lungs, the sides of the ribs. 3 more. Inhale, bend, level through the bottom of the feet, and then lifting the heels. Exhale, breath floats you down. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. We got it. 1 more time. Full cycle, no stopping halfway, and lower. Place your left hand on your belly, below your navel, right? So in the front of the bowl of the pelvis, and bring your right hand behind your head. We're gonna press that elbow open to a reasonable point, so don't push it back to the point where you feel tension in the inside of the shoulder blade or back of the neck. And then we begin to inhale and lift the edge of the elbow or the point of the elbow up, stretching through the edge of the armpit. Now on your exhale, bend to the left. Keep your left hand steady over your midline that continues down through the legs. Inhale here, and as you support the head with the hand, if the neck allows it, you can look up a little bit. And then release that. When the head is square, breathe in, and then exhale, return, swing the right arm down. So you know we're gonna do the other side. Right hand below the navel on the pelvis, left hand to the back of the head. Find that perfect position for the elbow and really the shoulder and shoulder blade. And when you've got that, begin to lift the point of the elbow up on your inhale, and on your exhale, take a side bend. So from your hand, your bottom hand downward through the feet, nothing moves. Above that though, we get a deep side curve. In your side curve, as you support the head, if the neck allows, you can look up. And then bring the head back to square. When the head is square, release side bend. And release the arm. Maybe put a hand on a tabletop. We're going to return to the feet and the legs. Prepare here with an exhale, engaging from the ground upward. On your inhale, lift your heels. On your exhale, bend your knees. And again, we're guiding them, gliding them forward. Exhale, lower your heels, reaching down. And inhale, straighten your legs, bottom of the feet level with the floor. Inhale, lift your heels directly up. And then exhale, slide the spine down as you bend your hips and knees. Lower the heels and straighten your legs. Inhale up. Exhale, bend. I miscued the first one here. We are inhaling to lower the heels and exhaling to straighten. With that breath pattern, do 3 more repetitions. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bend, supporting the length of spine. Inhale, heels down, keeping your kegel stretching. Exhale, straighten, and 1 more, up. Inhale and exhale. Good. Put the ball off to the side for a moment. And we're going to take our right leg into a lunge back. So right leg lunging back. Set the front leg and begin to glide the knee toward the ankle. You want to stack it ideally just above. So your kneecap is going to be a little bit past your view of your ankle, but not inside or outside of it. Lean forward and by a little bit micro bend that back leg and then stretch it. Inhale, micro bend the back leg. As you exhale and stretch it, you're also using breath connection here. Bend the back leg a little bit. Now different, we're going to exhale and use the breath and the abs to bring the bottom of the pelvis underneath us, like we're sitting in a chair, standing upright, and then stack the spine above. Inhale and exhale, re-stretch the back leg. We're going to start to move into a twist. We're going to twist toward the back leg. And you can have your left hand on the countertop, but we're going to have that sort of weird tabletop arm through the right arm and elbow. We'll exhale and turn from the waist to the right. Inhale, release. Start in the waist. Feel the twist generating upward, and you can pull the elbow back a little bit. Feel the inside of the shoulder blade contracting. Keep that going 4 more times. Return and step forward with the right leg. Lift your right foot from the floor. So this is not a sequence we've done before. Right foot lifted from the floor. Flex that foot, help to align it. And inhale, bend your left leg. Exhale, stretch it. Inhale, bend. Exhale, stretch. We do 8 of these guys. Tracking the knee, gliding it forward, keeping our weight over the inner thigh part of the hip, the leg, the foot. Almost there. That's 7 or 8. And then pause. We're going to exhale, stand tall on this left leg, and try and use our abs to pick up the right knee a little bit. Pulse up, release. Pulse up, release. 6 total, 3 more. You should feel it in the inner thigh, in the lower abs, not in your low back or neck though. And then put the foot down and go ahead and lunge that leg back again. In the backward lunge, we're going to bring the same sided arm up, lift it, and bend again to the left. Exhale. Take a breath. And then circle it forward, exhaling, and stand upright on that leg. Same thing through the other side. So we're going to lunge our left leg back now. So for the first version of this lunge, allow your body, your torso to tilt forward onto the same level or same line as your leg. Watch your head position. Inhale, soften back knee a little bit. And then exhale, stretch it, activating the muscles in the back leg. The back knee a little bit. As you stretch the back leg, activate through the inner thigh, through the medial quads, feel the big toe in the floor. Bend the back knee just a little bit last time. And now use your abs to bring your torso upright, your pelvis underneath. Once you're there, straighten that back leg. And straight is a relative term. You might have a little bend in it. Don't go into pain. We bend our left elbow and put our arm on the tabletop. Right hand can be on a counter. And we exhale and twist. Inhale, release. We keep the pelvis square. We try to begin the twist in the waist and pull the elbow back at the end of that twist. 6 total. Feel the rib cage turning or spinning over top the hips. I'll do an extra one because I'm not sure I've done 6. And then return. Step back foot forward. And I'm just facing you. You can remain in that facing. And stand on your right leg. Left foot is lifted. Flex it. Find the alignment from the hip. And 8 times, we inhale, bend the standing leg, and then exhale, straighten it, plugging into big toe, relaxing the toes and grounding the foot. Inhale, bend, and exhale, straighten. Weight over the inner thigh, weight over the big toe. Now, if it so happens that you need that left foot on the ground for a little bit of balance, you can do that. Just keep your weight in your right leg. Avoid twisting the hips at all. Avoid rotating the thighs in the hips at all. And you only go as deeply into the bend as is healthy for your knees. Right? It could be tiny. Last couple. Really set up that relationship of ground to leg to breath. When you straighten the leg the last time, stand tall on that leg. And 6 times we'll exhale and lift the bent knee. Contract in the abs and in the inner line of the thigh. So we're definitely using the hip flexor here, but we're using the deep hip flexor rather than the superficial stuff on the outside and direct front of the thigh. Don't worry, we'll stretch. One more. And then put the leg down and reach it in back, lunge style. So a little bit deeper side stretch, certainly a hip flexor stretch. Same-sided arm starts to lift overhead. And we exhale and bend away from the back leg. Inhale and exhale. Reach it forward. Back foot steps forward. And we'll pause here to do a plank. So if you're not facing a wall or countertop, go ahead and get that facing. Be just out of reach of the edge of it. And have your feet a neutral distance apart. It's probably not more than 4 or 5 inches. You want to feel a little bit of space though. Allow the low abs to be active, the core, and exhale, lean forward into the windowsill or countertop. Arms moving in a parallel way, we'll inhale and begin to bend the elbows. We're going to hold plank first before doing push-ups. See if you can keep the feet level or balanced with the floor. The heels might lift a little bit. That's okay. Parallel arms, neutral spine. Sorry, someone's at our door. The dogs are barking. Check the head position. Check the openness of the chest. And as we hold here for the remainder of the minute, you are going to start to feel work in the arms, but don't let it be misery in the shoulders or the neck. Have your legs working in their grounding. Have your core working in its connection to breath and the grounding of the legs. One more exhale. And now listen, inhale, bend the elbows a little more. And exhale, straighten the arms. A set of 8 to 10 push-ups, and you get to decide how many you do. Relax the ankles and the toes. Inhale, bend your elbows. And exhale, straighten your arms. You will certainly feel work in the arms and probably in the shoulder stabilizers. Once again, though, keep it out of your neck. And use all of those support muscles that connect those hardworking arms to steadiness in your core and grounding in your legs. Keep it going, opening the chest and unshrugging each time you bend the elbows. I'm going to do 2 more here. 1 more. And then keep your fingertips on the wall or countertop. Widen your stance. Bend your knees and pull your hips back. This is a stretch for the shoulders, for the sides of the waist. Holding this pulled back, this extended shoulder position, move the head around a little bit. You might do the standard nodding yes or turning no. You can move the spine a little bit. You can even take it into cat-cow if you like. We are going to try and reestablish a neutral line for the spine and do shoulder extension. It's going to be the tiniest movement, and it really is for the deltoids. So we don't want it to be up in our neck as we lift the fingertips from the wall. We take a breath, and on the exhale, as you feel the feet into the ground, kegel, begin to reach long through the sides of the waist into your fingertips and lift one hand from the bar or wall. hold, and exhale, put it down. Now don't let the lift of the arm pull on the low back. Get your low abs, get your core as you exhale, and lift the other arm or hand. Inhale and exhale, lower. One more time across the sides. Feel the breath generating upward through the sides of the waist. Lift the fingertip, work your shoulder, and exhale, lower. One more. Exhale. Keep the neck clear. And exhale, lower. Bring your feet a little closer if they're super wide. Round into the spine. Hands to the thighs, head dropped. Inhale. And then exhale and roll up. Good, you guys. Okay, let's do a little bit with our arms. So grab your weights. Ideally, you feel like you've got new arms and shoulders. They're supported, but they're also stretched. It's nice to have your arms down by your sides instead of reaching back by your ears. We stand in parallel. Here too, you could use a ball if you want. I'm gonna put a ball in between the inner thighs. And steady over your feet. We have the inside of the elbows and the palms forward. Make sure those elbows don't get behind you and do something like this to the ribs. Yeah. On the exhale breath, bend your elbows. Biceps curls. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, bend. Inhale, stretch. Easy peasy, not very complex. Those exercises that are not so complex are really good opportunities to return to the primacy of the breath, how it relates to your posture, and how you can work your muscles to move your joints without actually beating up on your structure. Right? We do 3 more. And let the arms come down by your sides. We're going to work again through the deltoids, this time in a more balanced way through the front, middle, and back compartments. So you want to make sure you're not going to whack anything out to the side. Yeah. We keep the feet, and on the exhale breath, get your core first, and without popping the bottom of the ribs forward, lift your arms to the side. You don't want to bring them above shoulder level, and maybe not even that high. Inhale, lower. We are building the cap of the shoulders, but not trying to bulk up the sides of the neck. It's good to have a strong neck. No bad muscles. But this is specifically for the deltoids. We have a total of 8. And again, your lift might be here, and that's okay. Find the muscles that you're working to strengthen. Support them with your core. That's it, you guys. 1 more. Good. Okay. Elbows toward the insides of the body, arms parallel by your sides. We're going to bring just one arm up to a 90-degree angle. Now the other arm can hang down. You could even ditch the weight if you want, or you can kind of align it with your center line. We don't want the spine to twist, but we do, on the exhale, want to rotate the shoulder laterally. Release that. We're holding tone in the biceps as well, and finding the lateral rotators of the shoulder. You'll probably feel this in the back of the shoulder joint, maybe down the back of the arm and ribs, maybe inside the back of the armpit. We don't want to feel any closing or restriction in the front of the arm though. We have 2 more. Then we hold the open rotation. Settle the shoulders, keep your biceps, and inhale, push the arm away a little, all without twisting the torso, and exhale, pull it in. Inhale, and exhale. Just 2 more. So not quite as many of these guys. 1 more. Rotate back to parallel and lower your arm. Let both arms hang by your sides and just kind of shake out your shoulders a little bit. All right, so before we do the other side, we're gonna do one more thing with the same sided arm. And I'm gonna give you a different angle because we are gonna bend into the knees a little bit and hinge forward. Now, again, this other weight is optional. That arm's gonna stay down. We will twist this time as we exhale and pull the elbow back and inhale, release. Legs are steady. Feet are steady. We're going for 8. Here's 3. Let the arm lower, round the spine and roll up. Stretch your legs. All right, so we're ready for the other side, yeah? That right arm can hang down, or the previously working arm, or you can have it as kind of a reminder of your midline. And we bend the other arm 90 degrees. Right? We rotate laterally, ideally 8 times. Exhale and inhale. Now, as we rotate laterally in the shoulder, we want to glide the arm bone through the center of the joint. Don't be surprised if your sides are different. I'm sure you know that by now. Right, for me, this is my challenging side. I've had some shoulder injuries. And so it's the same exercise, the same work, but it might look different. Couple more. The last time you open to the side, hold whatever rotation you've got. Try to free up the front of the shoulder. And on the inhale breath, reach away a little. And exhale, pull the elbow in without dropping the shoulder. When we reach away, we're still supporting with the top of the shoulder. We find the inside of the back of the armpit. And we try not to hang the weight of the arm from our neck. Support below. 1 more. Return the arm to parallel and drop both your hands down. So now we do our little bent over row into twist. Right. So long as you have room, there's no reason to move. Shake out your arms, bend into your knees, and hinge forward. So you're working a little bit against gravity. Yeah. Right arm hangs down. We exhale, bend left elbow and turn in that direction. Feel the turning starting in the waist and generating upward 8 times. When you've done your 8th one, arms hang down, you're square through the torso. Round the spine, drop your head, and exhale, roll up. Okay, let's put the weights down. We're done with the arms for a little bit. So put them over here. And you'll want to find your block or your stack of books or your low step, right? Whatever you're going to stand on. All right. So I'm going to use the yoga block. You're going to stand on the yoga block with your outside foot. So I'll give you this angle and I think you'll be able to see. So if I've got my left hand on my countertop, I'm going to actually stand on my right foot. Now, if your foot is long enough, your toes will probably hang off the front. That's okay, but make sure your heel is grounded. All right, so we've got this left foot floating. I'm going to move back a little bit. There, you can see that my left foot is floating. Do a little orientation through the pelvis You might sort of drop the foot down and lift it up until you can feel that you've got that spot where the hips are balanced, the bottom of the feet are balanced. We're going to point or half point left foot. Keep the knees straight as you exhale and press inward against the side of the block. Inhale, flex the foot and reach the leg out to the side. And then exhale, point or half point, press the inside of the big toe against the block as you activate inner thigh. Flex and reach out. Exhale and pull in. Working in parallel. Toes point forward or downward. 3 more times. Keep your medial quads supporting the stretch of the knees. So that's also work for that area of support. Press in 1 more time. And then fully flex your left foot, the one that's not on the block. Make sure you're balanced over your right foot or your standing leg. And inhale, kick your left foot forward, aware of inner thighs, medial quads. Point or half point as you skim the block and take the leg back. Flex and bring the leg forward. And point or pointish and take the leg back. 8 times total. Now be careful not to lock the standing knee. Right? Standing here for a long time, that is a hazard. So you want to keep activity in your knee support. 3 more. Step down for a moment because we're going to make sure that you have space in back of you. I'm going to need to change my angle. You're going to have the same foot on the block. And we're going to do a combination of things here. So, hope I don't kick anything. We're standing up on the block. We're going to round the spine and point the left foot as we pull the knee toward the nose or the chest. And then on the inhale, stretch it out long behind. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So we do this 8 times as well. It's an extended series standing on the right leg. Right leg is stable, again, not locked. And even though we seem to be working only through that one side, 3 more. We're definitely articulating the spine and both pelvic halves over the standing leg. Use your toes, but don't grip them. 1 more. End with the leg in back of you. Now we finally get to move the standing leg. Inhale, bend the knee a little bit. And exhale, stretch. We're in a sort of warrior 3-like position. Feel the line of the body, attempting to continue the line of the back leg. Try hard to keep the back leg parallel and the knee stretched. 6 total. 2 more. Now the hand on the hip. Last one. Bend your standing leg. Oh, come off of it. Cross it over the leg that was just lifted and bend deeply into the hips. Whew. Move your head around a little bit. Make sure you're not locked out of any particular area. Come on up. So now we get to work the other side. You're going to change the hand that's on your countertop or wall. Maybe move your block a little bit. I'll try to set it up a little bit more intelligently to begin with. I still want you to see my feet though, so I'll have to shift. So right hand on the wall, left foot on the block, stand up, make sure your heel is grounded. We're going to be doing that in and out motion through the inside or right leg. Do a little orientation for the hips. Feel when the feet are on the same plane. And then half point the foot. And as you access inner thighs by pulling the big toe knuckle against the block, firm medial quads. Get your core. We'll inhale, flex the foot and lift the leg away. And exhale, point or half point the foot as we squeeze it in toward the midline 8 times. Inhale and exhale. Striving to keep parallel and striving to keep the hips level or the pelvis level. We went to a little bit of trouble to make that happen, so hang on to it. Standing leg is active. Try not to lock the knee. Easy to do. You might see me doing that. Feel free to call me on it. We have 2 more. 1 more. And then flex your right foot, your lifted foot, and inhale, swing it forward through the midline. Exhale, point, and take it back. Inhale, lift your toes up, swing it forward, articulate through the ankle, foot, and toes as you swing the leg back. Your toes will skim the floor probably. Inside of the foot might skim the block, ideally. 8 total. I think 1 more. Bring the foot underneath you. You might need to adjust here. I do. And we'll round the spine. And as we exhale, pull the knee toward the chest or the nose. As you inhale, stretch out long. As you exhale, round the spine, pull the knee in. As you inhale, reach long, moving toward the horizontal with the body and the lifted leg. Round and reach. Halfway through. Easy movement of the pelvis over the standing leg. Great, so we want to activate the leg and not lock the hip. Almost done. Exhale, round. Use your abs. And last one. Now, staying here, exhale. Inhale, bend your standing leg a little bit. And 6 times we'll exhale and straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Try to keep the hips and the shoulders level and on the same plane. Try not to drop or bend the back leg. So much to keep track of. Using the support muscles to stretch the knee. 2 more. Find your foot. 1 more. And then return. Step down onto the right foot. Cross your left leg over. Oh boy. With legs tightly crossed. We'll use this again. Round forward, releasing the hips, releasing outer part of the thighs. Move around through your neck and your shoulders a little bit. And then exhale, roll up. All right, you guys. Shake it out, get your mat out. We're gonna lie down.
Praise the Lord.
Drink some water. That is always good advice. The quarantine, I have not been in my car as often. And I realized that the thing I do in my car that I don't do in my house is drink water. I had about a week of not going out of my car and wondering, gee, why have I got this crazy headache? Well, that's what happens if you never drink water. Anyway, long story short, we should be on the mat now. And we're gonna lie back and have knees bent, do some breath work, nothing more for the arms, but we'll do a little bit for dynamic stretch of the hips and a little bit of final touch up through the abs, yeah? So you lie back, you can have a pillow under your head too if you like. Just take a moment to not work, to feel the breath moving through the length of your spine and torso. Let your legs relax. Let your feet spread into the floor and your shoulders fall back out of the center of your chest. We'll imprint and release a couple times here, and I'll lead you to that in a moment. For now, though, I'd like you to inhale. Draw the breath down into the base of the pelvis, using your Kegel as your anchor. And then exhale, release the breath. You're keeping your Kegel anchor, but mostly you're focusing on softening the diaphragm at the bottom of the ribs here. Inhale, diaphragm contracts downward and outward, flattening, opening the sides of the ribs. And then exhale, release. The Kegel is a constant. It anchors the inhale as the breath pulls down. And then one final time, as exhale releases, diaphragm relaxes. Inhale. This time on the exhale, move the spine into an imprint. And when you inhale, release imprint. Exhale, imprint again. It's a spinal movement that the pelvis cooperates with. Allow the pelvis to roll easily through the axis of the hips. And inhale, release. One more of these, guys. Feet stay level with the floor. We're not pushing through the legs. We're contracting through the abs. And then letting that go. Now here, the promised stretch for the hips and twist for the waist. So stretch for the hips and low back, work for the abs. Shift your feet a little bit over to your right. Shift your hips a little bit over to your right. And then cross your right leg, it's a lot of right going on, over the left, nice and high in the thigh. Squeeze pretty tightly there. Feel the inner thighs pulling in toward each other. And on your exhale breath, make an imprint, applying your abs. 8 times, magic number. We're gonna let the legs drop to the left, away from the top leg. Inhale. And exhale, use your abs, ground your bottom foot, return to center. And that's all it is. Inhale, legs fall to the left. Make sure you don't shorten the left side of the waist. You simply twist. And exhale, return to center. Inhale, allow the right shoulder to fall back. If it moves a little, that's fine. Be sure not to contract it as you return to center. A couple more times. Actually, 4 more. I lied. Inhale, legs falling away. Don't push, just let them fall. Squeeze tightly between the inner thighs, but not tightly at the shoulder tops. Make sure you come entirely back to square. You're still imprinted. 1 more. And now listen, let the legs drop to the left. And you can either stay here for your stretch, or you can stretch the bottom leg out and just keep the top knee bent. You can even lift the knee up and support it with the opposite hand. Here for just a minute, yep. After your next exhale, guide this right leg back to center, keep it bent. Put the knee in the right hand and stretch open to the side. So we get a little inner thigh stretch here. Keep the hips square for this one, so don't roll the pelvis. We'll do that next. Bring the leg back to center. Put the foot on the ground, the right foot. Put the left foot on the ground as well, bending both knees. And then recenter your hips in neutral. An inhale and an exhale to rebalance your connection. And then we walk the feet a little bit to the left. We scooch the hips a little bit to the left. Pick up the left foot and cross the left thigh over nice and high up in the top of the legs. It should make your legs squish against each other. Arms out to the sides. Exhale, make your imprint. Do not attempt to imprint with your neck. Keep your imprint, and on your inhale, let the knees drop to the right, away from the top leg. Exhale, move back to center, squaring the hips against the mat. 8 total. We're imprinted or using our imprint muscles the whole time and minimizing the amount of work that the shoulders do. Strengthening the obliques. Building awareness of where our range of twist is. Right? Usually it's a lot smaller than we think it is. We'll get that deeper stretch in a moment. We have 3 more of these. Squeezing between the inner thighs, active continuously in pelvic floor support. Exhale. Initiated deep in the low belly. 1 more. Now we let the legs fall to the right. And you can hold that twist there and breathe for a little bit. You can slide the bottom leg down and support the top leg with your opposite hand. After the next exhale, return back to center. Support the left knee in the left hand. Keep both hips flat to the mat. And open wide through the inner thigh. Stretching our adductors, because man, we used them today. Every day, all the time. Bring it back. Put your foot on the ground. Bend the bottom leg, put your foot on the ground. Reach your arms forward. We have 2 more things to do. Imagine you have a giant rope suspended above the center of your chest. Reach up with one arm and grab it and pull it down. Hand over hand. Now we grasp with the other hand and pull the rope. Keep going. Allow the shoulders to stretch. Don't resist with the neck. You'll feel a very subtle rocking and twisting again, mostly focused on the ribs and the upper spine. 2 more across the sides. No particular breath pattern, but I do encourage you to keep breathing. Shake your arms out. Let your arms rest. And we finish with 1 hip roll to realign, to re-engage top to bottom. It can be easy, stretchy, and feel good. Inhale. Feel your feet into the floor. Feel pelvic floor anchoring and support. And then release that exhale breath, softening through the diaphragm as you make your imprint. Past the imprint, you begin to push directly down through the bottoms of the feet. Use your hamstrings for that. Begin to extend the hips. You might be ready for a second exhale at this point. You continue to roll up through the spine. Easy peasy, nice and smooth. Arms resting back, not pressing back, just resting as the chest spreads and opens and lifts through the open shoulders. At the top, inhale, you're standing on your legs. Kegel, exhale, now release through the spine and roll down sequentially. Weight in both feet. balancing your movement through the left and right halves of the torso. Again, softening the respiratory diaphragm, it'll make for an easier bend at the bottom of the rib cage. It'll take the pressure and pull out of the neck and the shoulders. Land through your lower back and then allow the pelvis to return to neutral. Once you're there, we're going to have 3 rounds of breath. You can stretch your legs out long if you like. I usually prefer to do that at this point. And close your eyes if you like. Allow the weight of the body to rest and fall back into ground. No muscular work. Inhale. Exhale gently. No force applied, really. 2 more times. One more. And then open your eyes, see the space in front of you, and sigh. You can take your time getting up from the ground. We are done this morning with barre class. Thanks for coming. Nice work, everyone. I'm going to get the recording turned off. And you guys have a great day.